everybody, welcome or welcome back. My name is Monique. Welcome to Medora Budgets. I like to thank anybody who's liked or commented on any of my videos, especially those that have chosen to subscribe to my channel. It's myself and Sweets, married with a whole bunch of kids, trying to figure out our future, family, and finances so the decisions we're making now won't negatively impact us in the future. So if you are rocking with me on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Today is Monday, the 6th, and you will see this video hopefully on Monday because I'm trying to get my shiznit together. And I did a lot of damage to my credit card over the weekend, so we need to talk about it. And we also need to reconcile all of my expenses from this weekend and making sure I have those documented in my budget planner. So let's get it, let's go. All right, Traveler's Notebook TN that I use, got 3 inserts in here, and the one we're going to concentrate on is my budget one, so I'm going to go ahead and take that one out. Normally, or recently, you've been seeing weekly inserts for me, or weekly like plan with me for me, and I did make the video and I just did not so anyway, I have set up my weekly schedule overall, so that part was done. I had a video on that I was supposed to release today, but such is life. So I'm gonna go ahead and scooch this over to the side. I still may need it for some things, but I mainly documented the spending that I did in my CP Petite. So that's where we will go to now, so that we see what our numbers are and then see what we need to do about them. Okay. I am going to get myself together a little bit more, come in a little bit more so we can see. So one of the things that I did mention in the previous video that I posted was that we've had a little bit of a medical emergency here. My oldest daughter ended up with an infection that and it went to the point of sepsis. So we have been in emergency rooms and urgent care rooms, etc., for them to figure out, first of all, what was going on, and then try to figure out a plan of attack for it. So she is home now. She's recuperating, but it meant that I pretty much went from being Nana for Bean over the last few days to being Mama for Bean for the last few days. His dad had him from Monday to Friday, which was an awesome blessing. His dad and his meme, his grandmother on his dad's side, they had him from Monday to Wednesday, but then he needed to go into work. So he came back to us on Friday, and he's been here ever since. And so it hasn't been a struggle, but it has been getting used to having a baby that you're kind of taking care of full time for the most part. And so it has been a little bit different. That means that some of my spending was different as well. And so you're going to see a lot of food stuff in here just because I wasn't prepared in the home for doing a lot of things where, because I did limit some of my travel over the weekend just because, I had the baby, and sometimes he's good, and sometimes he can be a little impatient, not a lot of crying, but just aggravated. So anyway, at the end of the day, we had some things to do this weekend. So I captured all of my Saturday spending in my actual budget planner once I got back, but I did not capture all of my spending for Sunday, and so that's what we have here. So instead of using a daily insert, if you guys didn't see my last video, I took a Stalogy that I have, B6 Stalogy. I cut those sheets down to 4x6 size, and I did the 5-disc punch or 6-disc punch for the punch holder that I have. And that's what I'm using right now to save some money, to keep from ordering inserts, and keep from using all of my printer paper and ink with my Instant Ink subscription. I thought that this was a good idea. I still have another B6 Stalogy I plan on doing the same thing in, and you'll just see crazy looking daily pages going forward because I'm just going to be trying different things, adding little stickers and doing some other items as well. So for Sunday, we had several purchases that I did make. Like I said, captured Saturday already. So for Sunday, we had some additional purchases. So some of these tasks were completed and some were not. And I think I'm just going to scratch through those ones that were not. That's kind of the way I do it. So I was not able to vacuum and I was not able to mop. Yeah, forget about that. But I took care of the groceries, washed the dishes, washed clothes. I cleaned the back patio. Unfortunately, somebody's dog decided that our back patio was the perfect place to get rid of whatever he had going on in his tummy. And so I had just a mess to clean up, which then meant that I just couldn't get everything done. So there you go. I am still tracking my meals. You guys know I'm doing intermittent fasting. But here's the expenses that I had. So did go to Starbucks, as I mentioned before, to get some coffee. We did have our book club meeting at 1 p.m., which was awesome. And in fact, the lady took us on a tour, which was the way that we were going to do it for this past month. So I found or scoped out the location. We used Story on the Square, located in McDonough, Georgia. The lady took us around to different places, and within the store itself, it's independently owned, very quaint little place. And she talked to us about different genres. She said it's less about the genre and more about the type, because multiple types can be under genres. We just had a good discussion. And then she told us about some of her favorite books. And then we were able to purchase, kind of walk through, peruse, and purchase what we wanted. With that said, number one, they have a lot of vintage stickers that I will be getting to put on my insert covers. Number two, we decided that what we're going to try and do there every year in October is do like it's not going to be like a battle of the book clubs, but it's going to be something where it's going to be a larger event where we're going to want to invite multiple book clubs and have them all be a part of, like, just a way for us to get to know each other and kind of see what other clubs do and the types of interaction things that they do in order to stay connected. So we want to do that once a year, and we want to do it at that place, and that'll be something else that I need to plan and organize. So you'll be hearing about that in another 12 months. But we also decided on our book for or our category for next month, and it's going to be mystery and suspense. So I decided to go with this book, Frida McFadden, The Surrogate Mother, as my book for the month. I got it there because I did want to patronize them, after they had done so much work for helping us to get connected. And then I found this cute little bookmark. You fell asleep here, because that's really what's going to happen. A lot of the times. So anyway, I was able to squirrel away and get that done. Bean went to church with me, y'all, and that was exciting. It was his first time being with Nana. I sit kind of in the front because I do some sign language. He did allow me to get one thing done with the sign ministry as a part of church services, and then after that, he didn't want necessarily anybody else to hold him while Nana was up there in the front, and he couldn't get to me. So some other ladies had to cover for me for some of the other things that I had to do. But he did actually pretty good in church. No whining, no crying, those types of things. But he was very determined to get with me, and it's hard to hold him back when he got a purpose in mind, y'all. All right, so I did get my book. We got some food. We went to a restaurant right across the street from the bookstore and got some food. I also got food for my oldest daughter. Like I said, she's back home and recuperating now. And so I got something for her and got something for sweets as well. And then I went and got my cupcakes, and that's that 1031 that you saw, along with some other things that I needed as well. We did get our Kroger delivery, and although it was $100, $25 of that was home. $74.53 was food. So we do need to go in and mark these in. So that's what we're going to do now. With that said, I did have some expenses for that Saturday. So this is all from Sunday. So I did have some expenses I already recorded in Saturday. And this is where a lot of the spending happened that I talked about before. So I had to get some clothes for not only for the date night that I had planned for Sweets. So our 1 year anniversary is coming up on October the 12th. Not the year that we got married, or I'm sorry, not the date we got married, but the date we first met. And so it's October 12th. And so I wanted to take him out. Usually he takes me out, but I did want to take him out. So I ended up needing to get some clothes and some other things as well. Also, as I mentioned before, you have a lot of food expenses here, where we went to Tokyo Grill. We had to order food at City Winery when we went there. So I took him out to dinner, and I took him to the Eric Roberson concert at City Winery in Atlanta, Georgia on Thursday. And so those are the expenses that you see here. Went and got some clothes from Torrid, and then we ate out, etc. Now, with that said, I realized I do not have a clothing budget. Usually I just cash flow it out of my personal expenses, but I have spent quite a bit of money on clothes recently, so I may need to rethink that for 2026 and actually have a budget available. So that's going to be one of my goals, and I might need to establish that sooner than 2026, but I do know in 2026 for sure I need to get a clothing budget. That Friday on the 3rd is when we went shopping for my dress for the sneaker ball, as well as Sweet's tuxedo rental as well, and that was a hefty charge, $520.46. And also I needed to get some unmentionables to go along with the dress. So that was $80.20. I had to order those online. So again, a lot of clothing, and usually you guys don't see that in my budget, and that's because I really don't buy a lot. I work from home. I have since 2011, but I am recognizing that I might need to change some things, especially because my role is changing. That might mean more travel, so I've got to do some things differently there. Got some gas at Circle K. Kroger for Bean. This is for his formula that he uses, the water that he has, etc. So that was $53.28. My daughter and my son-in-law did not ask, well, I call him my son-in-law, but her boyfriend, and did not ask me to purchase those, but I do try to help out where I can. And then we needed to order some contacts. Our prescription is down to the last 5 days. So for myself and my youngest, Corinne, I did order those, $164.97. Got to pay for that. Had to take Bean to Target to get him some clothes. So Bean stays home a lot because there's just a lot of stuff going in, viruses and other things in the atmosphere. So we tend to keep him home and not have him out. But he's been out with me, and I knew he was going to church with me, and he really doesn't have any church clothes. And when I say he doesn't have church clothes, I don't mean dressy stuff, putting bow ties on him and that kind of stuff. I just mean just something that's presentable outside of a onesie and some shorts, because that's what he tends to wear. So that was more money that was spent. And then I did get some food for myself and my daughter from Chipotle on that Saturday because I was beat. And I did not want to cook. And so I'm going to take this, because this video is already longer than I anticipated. I'm going to take this and I'm going to record all of these expenses as well. And so let's go ahead and do those and get those in now. Okay, we have all of those written in here, so we are good. I've also started to document where some expenses or bills are coming through as well. So my property insurance came through for $197.66, and Nelnet, I have paid them their $60 as well. And so all of those things have been done. And I probably need to mark that off. So I'm going to put this back in here for right now. I needed to mark off that the property insurance cleared. That's what it was. Okay, so that is done. And so then the bills that I'm looking to clear this week are iPro Insurance, Kindle, AT&T, Ally credit card, and my iCloud as well. All right, so we've got that. All right, so how am I going to tackle my Chase Freedom credit card? Okay, so I went in and I said to myself, hey, you may not pay off the statement balance overall. You might just not have the money available for you to do that. What are you going to do? How much is your interest rate on there? I've never paid any interest on my Chase Freedom credit card. I've always paid the statement balance off. So I said, okay, let me go and look at that. And y'all, so some might consider this good news. Some might say, oh Lord, but I don't know. I consider it good news. It's my ram in the bush. So I went and looked at my statement, my previous statement, and I wanted to see what my interest rate is that is being charged. Now, it is extremely high. The one that's associated with the account is 28.99% is the interest rate for the card. But apparently when I signed up for this Chase Freedom credit card, there was an offer where you get so many purchases or transfers done with zero interest associated with it for a specific amount of time. And y'all, it must have been a couple of years, because at the end of the day, it says that I still have that in play. 0% APR purchases or transfers until February of 2026. Won't he do it? And so I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover the statement balance for the next few months, especially leading into the Christmas or holiday season. We'll see. But what I do know is I don't have to worry about paying any interest on any balance that's left over until we get to February of 2026. And that's helpful for me because the acrylic box that I have and that I was going to go ahead and cash out and put that in there to take care of these, I really wanted to use that money for Christmas. And so then I was struggling with, okay, I'm going to use it to cover these expenses that I have. Some of these expenses that I have, it won't cover everything. Then I got to go into my emergency fund and pull money for that. And then I'm still going to need to figure out a plan for the holiday season as well. And it just started to feel like a lot. Even though I will be seeing a pay increase in the couple weeks to come, I did not want to count on that to try and get me out of a hole, right? So I was going to just do what I needed to do now and worry about the rest later. But luckily, I did take, or it's not lucky, but the blessing that I got was that the Chase Freedom card that I use, I still have a 0% interest until February 2026. So we're going to take full advantage of that and try to figure out a way to tackle some of the other things that are tied there. So you'll probably see a video around the acrylic box and me kind of unstuffing it. It might only be a couple $100. I'm not sure. I haven't really I've just been putting money in there. You're going to see me take that out, and I'm going to, whatever that money is, I'm going to deposit it into the bank and put it into the Christmas category so that funds Christmas, whatever that number is, that's what it looks like. And then I'm going to transition to the savings challenge that I had and start using that to put money into. And hopefully once I get that full, because I think the one that I was looking at using, it's full at $650. That will help offset the cost of some of these expenses that I have. We will see. You'll be seeing the plan going forward later on. But at the end of the day, 0% interest until February 2026. I'm going to take it. All right. Thanks everybody for your time. That's it. I'll talk to you guys later.